welcome to the West Ham world for the last game of the season reaction. It finished Ipswich 1, West Ham 3. We finish with a win to end this long season, as the thumbnail says. I'm relieved. I'm absolutely relieved that this season is over. It has been such a drain. It has been such a, not even a roller coaster, because on a roller coaster you have some highs. This has been full of lows, poor football, seeing players regress, and it's even though it's ended now, it's not the end. There is so much that needs doing with West Ham. There's so much that's going to happen over the summer. You know, there's rumours here, there, and everywhere. But I'll sum it up at the end. But let's talk a little bit about the game. When the lineup come out, the five at the back, Tobido, Mavropanos, Kilman with Wan-Bissaka, and nice to see Ollie Scholes back in the team. Fabianski playing his last game for the West Ham as well, which is weird because it should have been last week. He should have got the London Stadium farewell. But the away fans, some will argue they are the real fans or the hardcore fans. You know, so it was nice of him to get that. When I see the midfield of Alvarez, Ward-Prowse and Soucek, I was like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This could be a real embarrassing end to the season. Even though it's a nothing game, it meant nothing. You know, you don't want to be losing to a team that's did they say something like they hadn't won in like 18 games or something like that, or had only won something like 1 in 18 or something like that. It was I can't remember what the stat was. And obviously Kudus was dropped to the bench, and it was Bowen and Fulkrug up front. We didn't play well, particularly in that first half. At times, again, making Ipswich look like real Ipswich. You know, they were popping the ball back better. We were very slow. You know, not much happening. The decision-making wasn't great. Tobido kept coming out of position. And we just, you know, we was a bit lazy. I know it's the last game of the season. And, you know, it's very hard to look into the last game of the season and take, you know, too much out of it, because, you know, players have got their sandals on, you know, they're ready to go and have their holidays now. But, you know, for players that want to be here next season, you've still got to put that effort level in for the fans. You've got to put it in for your own professional, you know, for yourself. We did go 1-0 up, though. We did go 1-0 up. Bowen with the assist to James Ward-Prowse. You know, good cross across the box, put it in, good goal, good finish. And, you know, nice to go in 1-0 half time. But very quickly, they scored a goal. Really, really poor clearance from Fabianski. Tried to clear it up to Fulkrug. Obviously, the touch got away from him. It came back down to their player. Tobido put in a half-assed challenge. Great finish, great finish from them, but defensively from us, it was an absolute shambles of a goal. And I just thought, oh, this is just the one thing I wanted from today at this point in the game, 1-1. I know it did end in a win, but at that point, before the game, all I wanted was get a win, finish above Tottenham, finish above Manchester United, possibly finish above Wolves, which we did end up doing. But when it went 1-1, I was like, oh, just the typical way we end the season on a negative with such a big summer. Like, I didn't want that, and luckily we didn't. Bowen, listen, this guy's worth his weight in gold. This guy, what a player this guy is, Jared Bowen. Now, what a player we've got now. Iron Bowen. You know, he's got that left foot is absolute wand now. You know, as soon as he went back up on the right, you know, cut inside, boom, left foot, bang. Incredible finish. Great goal. Great goal. And we started to look a little bit better. I thought Fulkrug had a great game. I thought Fulkrug was trying to get things going. He's a bully. Alvarez was trying to do things. But yeah, listen, it wasn't a great performance. It was just good to get the win. Kudus come on, scored probably what will be his last goal for West Ham. Really good goal. Curved it in to the bottom corner. Very classy finish. I thought I wasn't really watching it, I'll be honest with you. I sort of lost a little bit of interest in it. It was like, okay, we've got the win. I was just keeping an eye on the other scores of the Champions League at that point then, because the Villa Newcastle one was really intriguing. And then obviously I was just checking that we'd finished above Tottenham and finished above Manchester United, which is what I wanted. Tottenham ends up finishing 17th. 17th in a trophy. Classic West Ham line that. I would have took it. I'm not gonna dig Tottenham out. They've won a trophy. League form not good enough. And I think, but when you're a fan of clubs of our sort of size that are never ever going to win the Premier League, we've never won it in our lifetime. I know Tottenham have won it a couple of times. If someone offered that to you the year we was in the Europa League, if someone said to you 17th for winning Europa League, I don't think there's any West Ham fan that would sit here and say no. So, listen, I'll give them their flowers for that moment. Great finish by Manchester United as well. They did win, so we did need to get the win today. Good finish by Wolves. I think we ended up finished 14th, which is still a terrible, terrible season. Any other season with the teams below us being a little bit better than what they were, trust me, Tottenham and us could have easily been dragged into it. The only slight disappointment towards the end of the season, I would have liked us to have finished above Everton purely for that careful what you wish for thing, and just finishing above Moyes. Nothing against Everton at all. But yeah, just more against Moyes, to be honest with you. So yeah, 3-1. Keep your comments coming, guys, because I can go for a little while tonight, and I'll go through the comments once I've finished up my little summary. Yeah, that's a lot of players' last games today. Fabianski, obviously, he's done now. Cresswell done now. Soufal done now. I wouldn't be surprised if, that's Caduce's last game and goal for West Ham. Paquetá, obviously, as well. I don't think he will be here. Either it will be the big ban or he'll get found not guilty and he'll be off. I still think City might come in for him, because there's rumours that Wirtz now, the guy who played so well against us last year, wasn't it? He's going to go Liverpool, and it wouldn't surprise me if Pep thinks he's a little bit of a quick fixie player that can go in now and do a job. So we might be able to get some money there. I'll be gutted for Paquetá going. I like him. I think there is a top player there. We've seen it in spells, not enough. Some of it's him, some of it's systems, some of it's the style of play of the manager. Kudus, I'm not totally against going, I'll be honest with you. I think he's had a bit of a sulky attitude at times. I think he's only played when he wants to flash his knickers at Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United. I think there's times where his effort level could have been better. Will it be the end of Souček? I haven't done really many videos this week. Last week I was had a little bit of a bug, so I couldn't really do any videos. But yeah, there's obviously the Souček rumours about him going. Fulkrug, will Fulkrug go? Was that Alvarez's last game? There's so many players that it could have been their last game today. So it's a huge summer, huge rebuild for West Ham. Am I totally confident in what West Ham can do? No, I'm not confident. We need a big signing early, a big boost of a signing. And if we are going to sell the Caduces and players like that, get rid of them quickly, get the money in, get players in that you want to see. I see with the midfield that started today, that's what scares me. The Souček, Ward-Prowse, Alvarez. No dynamism. Alvarez tried. He tried for some forward passes. He tries them little pings, but he's not killer. He hasn't got that killer pass. And, we need that. We need someone who can carry the ball. I think we might need another centre-back as well. Looks like we're going to have to buy a goalkeeper, striker. There's so much work that needs doing, and I'm not convinced. There's no evidence that they can do it successfully, and that is my fear. I'm very, very nervous for next season. Me and Paul hopefully going to do a podcast tomorrow about it and talk about the season, obviously his views and where we lie with it, Well, I'm going to go for some of the comments, guys. Thank you. Keep them coming. Dad says, evening, chaps. Hope you're doing well. Doing great, mate. Good result to finish on. A lot of good performances from the players to put themselves in a shot win. That's exactly it, mate. Evening, Luke. How you doing? I'm doing great, mate. We got more points this season than we did when we won the Conference League. I did not know that. Mate. Craven says 14th isn't actually bad, and because it's not bad considering, but it's been a horrific season, mate. Horrific. Wolves have been heavily praised since their change manager, and we finished. But that's a good point as well. I'll give you that. I will give you that one. But it's one of them seasons as well where it's so frustrating as a West Ham fan that if we would have had one of our good years, we usually have 2 bad, 1 good, or 3 bad, 1 good. If it would have been one of our good years, I think we could have got a Champions League this year because the points were not that high. 66, 67 would have got you there. I think we could have, on a good season, maybe challenged to get Champions League and probably would have finished in a Europa League place. It's really frustrating that we've had one of them seasons. I think we're going to be a long, long way from a Europa League campaign again, which is really, really sad. Because we all enjoyed those nights. I just don't see it Potter getting there. I don't think he's got enough to get the results. One thing you would give Moyes is he had a little bit of luck, and he would still get results when he needed results to get us there. I don't think Potter will get enough results. If I had to predict a best finish for West Ham next year, I think it would be 10th. If it was a horrific season, we get relegated. That is the difference of the season. Recruitment this season is going to be tough. 9 teams in Europe, and it will make it a lot harder to get. It's true, mate. It's true. I did think when I see Jack Grealish, it looks like he's going to leave Manchester City, and you think like if this would have been like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we was in Europa League, I reckon there might have been a chance to go and get a Jack Grealish on loan and bring him to West Ham because we were a team in a real attractive situation. Now you see him going back to Villa. Maybe Newcastle would be a good choice for Grealish, but we're going to be shopping in a lower market because we haven't got that carrot of Europe anymore, which is sad, but hopefully we can get back there. I'll take going back in a Conference League again, possibly winning that to get back in Europa League, these little small steps that you need to take. We'll see. But serious work's got to be done. Serious work got to be done. What we got here? I'll take 14th in the Carabao Cup win, 100%, mate. 100%. I'll take 17th in the Carabao Cup win. I'll take 17th in FA Cup win. And you won't be stopping Tottenham's party anytime soon or Palace's party anytime soon. But yeah, I'm glad it's over. We get a little rest now. And the biggest thing for me this summer, I know there's been some silly rumours, as there is, where we weren't in the England team about Jared Bowen, maybe looking to leave. That is one man that I think I would genuinely turn down 100 million for him because he means more to West Ham than 100 million. The goals he gets, the assists he gets. Someone put a little thing up on Twitter with his comparisons to Saka this season, Gordon, Mudwakey. There was another one. I can't remember who it was, top of my head. And he was above all of them, goals and assists. So there is some politicalness there why he's not been picked. And I hope he does. I hope he does get picked because I would love to see him go to the World Cup. It's always great. We very rarely get to see West Ham players get picked for the World Cup. So, it's up to him to have a really great season. But yeah, we cannot be selling Jared Bowen. Him, Wan-Bissaka. I need to have a think if there's any more that I would say are on that list that I wouldn't sell. But him, Jared Bowen, cannot be sold for any amount of money. This man has to stay at West Ham. I think he knows he's a legend at West Ham if he stays, where you're sort of getting to levels where statues are made outside the stadium. We cannot be selling. Dad says Souček is one we have to keep. Yeah, I have to say, mate. I have to say, I think I'm tempted to keep him as well. Everyone's singing McTominay's performances for Napoli, but Souček's stats are the same, if not similar. Yeah, love him, mate. I would have loved McTominay. In hindsight now, how good would he have been for West Ham's midfield? How the hell Bowen is in the England team? I don't know, mate. I don't know. When you get people like Mudwiki in there and Henderson and Tony, it's frustrating. 14 has flattered us. Potterball isn't going to work. I agree, mate. There's no evidence from what I've seen in, what did he get in the end? 20 games, Potter. There's no evidence that it's going to be good football. There's no evidence that he can get the wins, apart from, towards the end of the season against teams where they've got nothing to play for. Some of his substitutions are questionable. Some of the setups questionable. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I want to be proved wrong. Listen, guys, I want to be proved wrong. I say it every time about West Ham managers. I want nothing more than David Moyes to prove me wrong and start playing beautiful football. Lopetegui to have started getting results and playing beautiful football. All over the years, all over the years. If they prove me wrong, that means West Ham's winning. That means West Ham are doing what we want them to do if they prove me wrong. Fingers crossed, but I can't see it. I genuinely can't see it, guys. A couple more comments here, was there? Disfigure in West Ham's midfield. Yeah, someone like that. We need a box-to-box. We need someone who's got that sexy killer pass, as I call it. I think we need a Dawson / Ginger Collins style defender who's good in the air and a bit of a warrior. Definitely need a striker. And we need Potter to swallow his pride a little bit in terms of formation. Best player is Jared Bowen. Play him on the right-hand side. You build the team around your best player. Playing Bowen up front. Listen, he's adaptable. He was still scoring goals, but it's not until he gets put on the right again that he starts looking, top. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for this season. I know sometimes I haven't done reviews, and I know sometimes I haven't done previews, but it's been tough. It's been tough. Last question, Luke, do you think Potter will be manager this time next year? If I'm honest, at the moment, I think he'll be gone by Christmas. I think we're going to have a really bad run. I don't think we'll get the players that will excite us and play the football we want to play. So yeah, I think my thought was just fell over out there. I think my wife's dealing with that. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Like I say, sorry for not always being consistent with the videos. I'll be back during the transfer window. Any news that comes out, players coming, players not coming, players going. Obviously, we might hear the Paquetá stuff very, very soon. So there's loads that will be going on in the summer. It's only about 2 or 3 weeks before the fixtures come out as well. I think the new shirt will come out soon as well, so I'll do videos on that. But yeah, me and Paul will probably be back for a podcast tomorrow. Like the video before you leave. Thank you so much. If you've come over from Claret and Booze, where you've seen me on there, if you've been a subscriber since the beginning, come on your irons, keep believing. Let's hope this little rest away now, we can get that little bit of energy back, and West Ham can start giving a bit back, because we've given enough as fans.